Can we just all take a second to look at these earrings and how freaking cool they are? My boyfriend's family got these for me for Christmas, and I just freaking love them. Like, they're high-heeled boots that are rhinestoned. I mean, come on. I can't believe I haven't worn them in a video sooner, but like, yes. Hey, what's up everybody? It's Amaya. So today's video, we are just going to be doing a nice little like commenting on new makeup releases video. I haven't done one of these in such a long time, mainly because I do not have social media anymore, and it's really hard for me to see new makeup releases until they come out or until I watch somebody else's new makeup release video. But I actually found out that Trendmood has a website. So even though I can't access their Instagram page, I can access their website, and they post all the same things that they post on their Instagram on their website. So I can still look at new makeup releases and I can still do videos like this. I'm really excited to talk about these because, I don't know, I have some like really interesting opinions on some of them, and like I like a lot of them that a lot of people have been talking about saying they don't like. So I feel like my opinion's a little bit unpopular. Maybe. And yeah, let's just hop right in. So the first thing that I want to talk about, this isn't really a new release, but it's like a re-release. So Anastasia Beverly Hills re-released the Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit. And I honestly forgot that this existed. It was like a blast from the past. I forgot that it existed. And I think all the shades in here are really pretty, but I don't really understand re-releasing it, especially in a day and age where we have so many highlighter palettes. I don't know. I just feel like ABH is trying to do like what Too Faced and like Urban Decay does, where they take a product that used to be really popular and then they just like rebrand it or re-release it. And in this case, Anastasia didn't even try to like make this any different. They just literally re-released the palette because it had originally been a limited edition. I don't know, I just feel like, why don't you just release new highlighters? Like, if you knew people liked the Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit so much, why don't you go, okay, they liked this formula, they liked these colors, let's go to the drawing board and release some single highlighters, because I don't believe that ABH has any single highlighters. They did at one time, like there's that one So Hollywood that everyone loved. Why don't they re-release those or something similar to those? So this just kind of seems like a cash grab to me. I just think that it would have been a better business idea to take this formula of highlighter and these type of shades and create single highlighters. I think that would have been such a better idea. I don't know. That's just my opinion. It seems like a cash grab to me, but that's just my opinion. Okay, this seems kind of strange. So KVD Vegan Beauty is releasing a Epic Curl Vegan Lash Primer. So this just feels odd to me. Like, sometimes I want to like be in the meeting room when brands release stuff and like wonder what everyone was talking about, because who uses lash primers? Like, I feel like we left those back in like 2015. I feel like there's not a ton of people that use lash primers, and the ones that do have the ones they love and they just use them. So I don't really understand the whole point of this release. I think it would have been a lot cooler for them to just release like a mascara, and maybe they did and I just can't see it. Maybe they did, I don't know, but it just says the Curl Vegan Lash Primer. So it seems like it's just a lash primer. I don't know. I don't get it. Okay, so we finally get a look inside the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice palette. What is this? I thought, I'm not even joking you, when I was scrolling through Trendmood's website and I saw this, I was like, oh my god, they're re-releasing the gingerbread palette? Like, I don't really know, I don't really remember what the gingerbread palette looked like, but that's what it looked like to me. And in no way does this look like pumpkin spice. I don't even like pumpkin spice. I don't drink it. I don't like pumpkin anything. And I know this is not pumpkin spice. I don't understand. I feel like if you're gonna do pumpkin spice, you need to do like a very orangey toned. You could even do a little bit of green, but like an orangey brown. I don't understand why this whole bottom row is like pinks and purples. That doesn't really make sense. The quadrant on the top like right corner, that kind of looks like pumpkin spice, and even the one next to it with like the peach, yellow, brown, and green, that looks like pumpkin spice. I could see that as being pumpkin spice, but like the rest of these colors do not make any sense to me. And I feel like Too Faced was like, oh my god, people love pumpkin spice, let's release a palette, call it pumpkin spice, doesn't really matter what it looks like, they'll buy it anyways. And I just, literally, you could slap any name on this and I would believe it. If you were like, this is the summer fruity collection, I'd be like, okay. If you were like, this is the Christmas cookie palette, I'd be like, okay. Like, you could put anything on this and you could use it. And I just feel like that's where Too Faced just goes wrong. They don't think. They don't do a whole lot of thinking in their noggin. Bailey Sarian reference, of course. Okay, so this is something that I'm actually really excited about, and I feel like everybody else is like, really? And I'm just over here like, so this is the Colourpop Little Ray of Sunshine palette slash collection. And I'm sorry, but this palette looks gorgeous. And I am someone, if you watch my palette declutter, I kind of have a lot of palettes with the same color story, and I'm okay with that. I'm not someone who wants like a ton of eyeshadow palettes that are different and like cool and fun color schemes. If I have 25 palettes that look almost exactly the same, that's fine with me, because that's what I use. And if I buy a palette just so it's different than other palettes I have in my collection and I don't really love the color story, then I'm just wasting my money because I'm not going to use it. So this palette, I think it's an all matte palette, which makes me super excited because I love Colourpop's matte formula. It looks like there's 2 Super Shock shadows, and their Super Shock shadows are my favorite. I almost have every single one of them. I know people are like, oh my god, they just released the Candyland collection, which I am going to talk about, and now they're releasing this, but I feel like the Candyland collection really was not applicable to like most people, and they were kind of trying to go with the whole like Candyland aesthetic. I'll talk about it in a minute. But like I feel like this is much more crowd pleasing, and this is something that like a lot of different people can use. I feel like this is different because it is an all matte palette, and it's nice to see that from Colourpop. So I like this collection. I'm probably gonna buy some stuff from it. Don't hate on me. I'm a sucker. Update. So I actually ended up buying both the Colourpop palette and the Super Shock shadows today. I just couldn't help it, and they look really pretty, so I'll probably maybe do a review if you guys want to see one once it comes in. But yeah, I'm super excited. I just couldn't help it. All right, and because I just jumped into it, let's talk about the Colourpop Candyland collection. And if you're going to do a Candyland collection, you have to do it right. And this was not done right, and it makes me so mad. This palette, while nice, it looks like any other like pastel springy collection. And I also don't understand why they released this now. If they released this in the spring or even like as a Christmas release, I feel like that would make a whole lot more sense. Are y'all done yet? The blushes here look really pretty, and I watched Smoky Glow's review of this collection, and she really did not like the palette, but she liked the highlighter and she liked the blushes, which I think is cool. I don't know. I feel like this, 1, does not make sense at the time it was released, and 2, they just released another pastel palette, and 3, if you're gonna do Candyland, you have to think about it, because okay, they have 1 dark brown shade, but it has glitter in it. And when you think about all the Candyland characters, and you think about candy in and of itself, candy is not just pastel. And they really push the whole pastel theme here, and I don't really understand that. Like, yes, candy, sugar, okay, lighter colors, but not all candy is like pastel-y, and if you're gonna do like a Candyland collection, I feel like you should go to the original Candyland board game and pull color ideas from that. Like, it'd be fun if they did like 2 shadows for each of the characters. Like, okay, they did like 2 cool chocolatey colors for the chocolate guy. I don't know what his name is. And then like 2 cool like bluey icy colors for Queen Frostine, and so on, you know? They could do something like that and make it like an actual Candyland palette that speaks to Candyland itself, as opposed to just being like, oh my god, this is pastel, so we can just throw the name Candyland on it. Ugh, I'm heated. I love Candyland. I have the Disney version of Candyland. I have the original Candyland. I love Candyland, and I will still play Candyland, so it's a fun game, okay? It's very like, ugh, when you get that card that sends you right back to the beginning. I hate that card. All right, let's just talk about this, because like I feel like I have to, because everybody else is talking about this. This is the Jeffree Star. I'm not monetized, so I'm just gonna say it. This is the Jeffree Star Orgy collection. And like, first of all, this is all for shock value. And I honestly shouldn't even be talking about this, because this is what Jeffree wants. Jeffree wants people to talk about this, and that's why he does stuff. It's for the shock value. That's why he releases things with the names that he does. It's so people will talk about it, and so he can be like different and stand out. And that's fine, okay? But this is purely a cash grab and an attention grab after all of his bad PR that's been happening the past few months, honestly. I think it is smart for his brand to release a nude palette because he does not have really any nude palettes or nude color stories. I don't understand why he has such a big palette like this when all of his other palettes are very like curated color stories. And you can do a nude palette with a curated color story. So I don't really understand the whole idea. Just my opinion. Don't come for me. I've been watching too much Stephanie Harlow. All right, I feel like all these things that I'm talking about are eyeshadow palettes, but like that's a big release thing right now. Juvia's Place released 3 more of their 6-pan eyeshadow palettes, and I want their 6-pan palettes so badly. I love the first 3 they launched. The second 3 that they launched also look beautiful. I really like that taupes palette. I think it's really unique, and it's something that we don't see a lot of on the scene right now because everyone kind of shifted from cool tones of the early 2000s to these warm tones, and we're now just starting to kind of shift back to more like neutrally cool tones as opposed to such bright reds and oranges. So I think this is a really smart play, and I don't think there's anything else really like it on the market right now. I also think the other 2 that they have, I don't know what they're called, but the 2 pink ones, I think these are also really cool. The only thing I will say is the brighter pink one definitely seems like it has some repeat shades or shades that are very close to each other, and that's really something that you want to avoid when you're doing 6-pan palettes because it is so easy to do duplicates. So that's the only thing I would say, but other than that, I think these look really pretty, and I definitely think that they're going to do really well, and Juvia's formula is amazing. I love their eyeshadows, so I think that these will probably be awesome. All right, so Pat McGrath is coming out with the Supreme lipstick, and this is partnering with the brand Supreme, which if my sisters probably saw this lipstick, they might actually poop their pants because they are so into like all that name brand kind of culture thing that like, I'm wearing a bodysuit from Fashion Nova that I got at a thrift store, so like, that's not me. Not dogging anybody who likes that stuff. I think it's awesome if you do. My middle sister especially is really into like cool, unique fashion and also like name brands, and it looks so good on her, and it's like her hobby. I think it's awesome. That's just not me, so I'm definitely not the target audience for this lipstick. I also don't really like red lipsticks that are in like a bullet formula. I like bullet lipsticks, but with my red lipsticks, I do like liquid lipstick formula just so they stay on longer. I think this is really cool. I won't be buying it, and I'm sure it's gonna be really expensive, but I think it's fun. I think it's a cool collab that actually makes sense. All right, so this kind of caught my eye. This is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator and the Stoned Vibes eyeshadow palette. So this Tinted Glow Hydrator, I'm not really sure what this is because at first glance it looks like a tinted moisturizer, but then you read the description and it says Tinted Glow Hydrator. I don't know what that is. Are they trying to say tinted moisturizer but using 3 words so that way they can take up more word count? I don't understand. This is not freshman English 101. Come on, Urban Decay, you can just say tinted moisturizer and we will all know what you mean. I think it looks really pretty, and I am into like light, glowy face products. I think that a lot of people are right now. So I think that this is a really awesome product to release. I just think it's kind of odd, especially because it says it's medium coverage, so that's not a tinted moisturizer, but then it says Tinted Glow Hydra. I don't understand. It's very confusing. So for the Stoned Vibes palette, I think this is really interesting. However, I wish they had gone one way or another. I wish they had either said, okay, we're going to do like an all pressed glitter palette, or we're going to do a palette mixed with mattes and glitters, because right now they have 4 matte shades, which are nice matte shades. I will commend them for that. And then they have these really amazing pressed glitters. But I don't feel like you could use the pressed glitters and the mattes all like together. I just think that this would have made a lot more sense if they committed to like the glittery, sparkly stone vibe and just did those 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. I don't understand the mattes in there. I just don't get it. I think they should have narrowed it down to an 8-pan palette. Would have been perfect, would have been beautiful, especially because the packaging looks really nice. I just think that those 4 mattes are unnecessary and they need to commit one way or another. And then lastly, I'm gonna talk about the Chillin' in Chicago palette by BH Cosmetics. I don't understand what is going on with BH Cosmetics, because they released that like ice cream collection, which people seem to really like, and it looked very pretty and very unique, and it seemed like they were starting to come back. And then they released this, which, okay, I don't live in Chicago. I've never been to Chicago. If I have any people that know Chicago well, tell me if this like makes sense, this palette. If someone was going to release a palette named after my city, I would really want it to emulate that city. And I feel like this palette does not scream Chicago to me. Like I said, I've never been there, but I don't feel like it screams Chicago. It's a very like muted, pastel-y, and I don't really understand why they're doing a Chicago palette. I don't know. These colors are so boring to me. Even someone who likes boring colors, these seem boring. The brushes just look like they're standard regular brushes. I feel like this could be any of their brush sets and they could just call it the Chillin' in Chicago brush set, but this does not make sense to me. I don't get it. So that is it for this video, you guys. I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys liked hearing my thoughts and opinions on a few new releases. Let me know what you guys are thinking down below, and I especially want to know about the Chicago palette. If I have anybody who knows about Chicago, please let me know down below what you think about it. And like I said, I don't have social media, so I might not have had all the information on these releases, so please correct me in the comments if I said anything wrong or I have misinformation on the products. And yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, I will see you in my next one. Mwah.